This video marks a unique first for the channel. This is going to be the first and only time we will have done the fully evolved Pokemon and the middle evolution, but not the base form. That's right, at time of recording, I have not yet done a Machop run at all. So that's kind of neat. Now, Machamp did fairly well. It was in the top non-Mewtwo tier, and we can see if we look at Machoke why that probably was. The moves are decent, not amazing. Fighting type is a little underpowered. It doesn't have the, let's call it finisher move, like an Earthquake or Surf, but Low Kick is a really powerful early game move, which Machoke gets access to right away. And there's a lot of normal Pokemon, so that's pretty good. And for the non-normal Pokemon, like the poison Pokemon, it still has Karate Chop, which will crit almost every time. We'll talk about that in just a second. But in terms of its TM moves, it gets, well, we talked about Earthquake, it gets Dig, it gets Rock Slide. It has really nice move diversity. If it got a badge boosting move of some sort, it would be even better, but alas. But now it's a good time to talk about the whole critical hit thing. So this is going to be annoying. Machoke's Karate Chop will critical hit around 80% of the time. Critical hits in Generation 1, as you probably know, unless you're new, in which case, hey, I'm J-Rose. But yeah, if you're not new, you already know that it's based on your base speed. We're base 50. If you're above base 64, it will critical hit 99 point whatever, just 255 out of 256 times. But sadly for Machoke, it's only 78.125% of the time. Not bad, but not amazing. I'm excited to see how Machoke does. But first, a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. Nowadays, it feels like everything is a subscription service, and it's so hard to keep track of all of them. Good news, Rocket Money is here to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that allows you to cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Rocket Money has a lot of amazing features, but subscriptions are definitely something that have gotten a little out of hand for me recently. So if you connect your bank account to Rocket Money, it will be able to put all your subscriptions in one list. From there, you can select the ones you don't want, and Rocket Money may be able to cancel them in just a few taps. Another really good use for Rocket Money is to set budgets. With Rocket Money, you can create a custom budget within seconds. The app will show you where your money is going at all times and identifies top spending categories with insights into how you can better stay within your budget. Rocket Money will notify you about upcoming charges, as well as when your balance is low, in order to help avoid late and overdraft fees. To try out Rocket Money today and unlock more features with premium, head to rocketmoney.com/JRose11 or click the link in the description or pinned comment. All right, so Brock, we're just gonna go low kick. It's a 2-shot, we're at level 9. Actually, it's a 3-shot. I'm wrong. Now, funny enough, in theory, I actually could lose because Onyx could knock me out with Bide. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Don't forget that low kick didn't start being based on weight until, I believe, Generation 3. Not actually 100% sure about that, and I'm not going to look it up because it's not really important. What's important is that it doesn't do it in this generation. And yeah, you can see against Caterpie, we get 2 straight critical hits, and then against Weedle, we get a critical hit, and then against Caterpie, we get... All right, well, 80%'s looking pretty good for us. I can never get Hydro Pumped hit. Actually, let's see how many of these we get in a row. I'm kind of curious now. We're going to have to switch to low kick here. Oh, low kick actually has a chance to miss, which is annoying. But now against Ekans... All right, there we go. Our first non-critical hit, and 2 in a row. Anyway, I'm not going to keep track of that throughout the video. I just thought it was kind of interesting. We can move on to Cerulean. There's nothing difficult in Mount Moon, unlike Gloom. That kind of sounded like it rhymed, but it actually didn't. Anywho, I was pretty generous with leveling up Machoke in Mount Moon, and the reason I was I was pretty nervous. Although Pidgeotto's Gust is only normal type, it was a 2-shot, but it could have been far worse, and I didn't want to deal with Sand Attack. You'll notice that Machoke is slow enough that almost everything is outspeeding. In fact, everything here did outspeed it. That's a big reason why I'm going to save Misty for a little bit later. Misty, I'm going to have to rely on critical hit Karate Chop, which isn't that bad. It's a base 100 power move, essentially. Or effectively, I should say. But yeah, Rival 2, not so bad. After visiting Bill, I battle Misty. Against Staryu, I can go for low kick. It outspeeds, but thankfully on turn 2 it goes for an X defend. And then Starmie goes for tackle, then water gun, then tackle. We only got one crit, but no bubble beam was really good. Misty, in fact, turns away from us because she was so disappointed. I'm not really sure what causes that bug. I'm pretty sure it also happens on Pokemon Stadium's Game Boy Tower. I think it's just a result of speeding up the game, but yeah, kind of interesting. For the record, since this is not a speedrun or scientific or anything, I was thinking of doing a run on the Game Boy Tower. We haven't done one yet, and the Game Boy Tower is fascinating, but I'll save that for another time. For now, we're going to move on to Vermilion, and we're going to get Body Slam, and then we can go and battle Rival 3. Alrighty, so against Rival 3, all we gotta do is... what do I want to do? Karate Chop, Body Slam? I'll go Body Slam. It doesn't one-shot, darn. But we do outspeed. This time I'm gonna go for low kick. I miss. That's okay. I miss again. Alright, so everything's like a speed tie, which is annoying. Against Kadabra, it outspeeds clean. And then Charmeleon, actually meant to go for Dig, but 2 Body Slams is effectively just as fast. And yeah, that's pretty good. It does suck to use Dig so early. I wonder if I'm going to... I actually did this run a while ago, but there's a new strat I've been using when I have a Pokemon that uses Dig. I'll go into Diglett Cave and actually catch a Diglett so that later on, when I have to eventually teach over Dig because it's slow, I still have a Dig Pokemon, but doesn't look like I'm doing that. Actually, what I'm doing right now is getting a Farfetch. Talked about this before, but HM Pokemons are very important in these runs. Ideally, what you would like to do is get, in most runs I should say, a Flying Pokemon, Pidgey, or Spearow on Route 3, and then a Paris for Cut and Dig. Since in this run, we have a Pokemon using Dig, then we can get a Spearow. Actually, I'm going to save here because the trash can puzzle is trash. Oh, it doesn't work, but you'll notice I go to the top left. So much stuff I could talk about here. Gen 1 is just so weird, but I'll battle Lieutenant Surge and then I'll continue all my thoughts because the gameplay's just going by too quickly. Anyway, we're gonna go Dig, it outspeeds, but that's not a problem. And then Pikachu, I actually could have gone for Body Slam, but Dig will knock it out. And then Raichu, it goes for Thunder Shock, I'm not paralyzed, and easy peasy. Okay, so all the things we were gonna talk about. Let's go in reverse order. The gym has a very weird puzzle that's different in Generation 3, as well as in Yellow version, I should say. In Gen 1's Red and Blue, it is kind of broken. It's every other can be the first can. If I find the diagram, I'll show it to you. Also, I don't get the Diglett here, but I do remember the bike voucher. I don't always do that. I've done way too many of these runs. I don't actually know what number this is. We might be near 120, which is nuts. But yeah, that was the whole puzzle thing. In terms of, well, I guess I kind of talked about the Diglett thing. But yeah, the HM Mons kind of matter. You get Lapras in Sylph Company, so you never have to worry about Strength and Surf. So in theory, you have a Paris for Cut and Dig, and then you have Lapras for Strength and Surf. Thankfully, Flash is not mandatory in this game. I actually do go out of my way to get it in the Gen 2 games, because unlike in these games where you can see the outlines of the walls and navigating is annoying but not that difficult, in later games it is very, very frustrating to navigate for different reasons without Flash. So in those games I may go out of my way for Flash, but thankfully we do our runs in Gen 1 where that's not an issue, so I'm glad about that. Skipping ahead a little bit, kind of a little bit, but really just a little bit. We're going to battle Giovanni 1. We can go for Dig, knock out Onix. We level up. We can go for Dig, knock out Rhyhorn. I figured it was just a little bit more consistent than going for low kick, because low kick can miss. And 2 low kicks will knock out Kangaskhan. Actually got some nice damage on me, but we did fine. And now I actually have to remember not to go to Paris. It's muscle memory at this point, just going to Paris for Dig. But what do I do here? There are multiple options. I could theoretically go and battle Rival 4 right away. I can go and battle Erica. Right now I'm just going to buy protein, selling everything so I can buy them. Actually, I think Carbos are a bit of a better idea. You know what? Speed is just so important. I'm going to buy the fresh water. I'm going to save. That's because I couldn't remember whether it was the soda pop or lemonade for Rock Slide. I just, I don't do that very often. It's just not common. So yeah, that's Rock Slide. The other one's Tri Attack, which is very useless in this game. It's like a worse body slam. Unlike in Gen 2 and beyond, by the way, Tri Attack does not paralyze, freeze, and or burn. Well, it can only do one of them at a time, but you get what I mean. Anyway, this is a good time to talk about when I'm doing these runs. I know a lot of you guys are interested in the behind the scenes. Oftentimes I will talk to chat and reset. So if you ever see me standing around doing nothing, I'm either talking to chat or I kind of just like move the character around just to get my mind thinking and I'm going to reset. That's exactly what I was doing there. Thinking about where I want to go, kind of talking out loud. But rather than just sit there, I give chat something to do. Why am I saying it's for chat? It's just the way my brain works. But yeah, that's another huge reason why we use in-game time, because if we used real time, well, I'd have to plan these kind of in advance, and that wouldn't be fun. What is fun is going to battle Rival 4 with the moves I need to have, like Rock Slide, one-shots Pidgeotto, and then Body Slam does not one-shot Execute, but thankfully it misses with its attack. Rock Slide does one-shot Gyarados. Kadabra we even outspeed, but we're at a much higher level. And I can actually go Rock Slide now against Charmeleon. I don't have to go for Dig. So things are looking pretty good for Machoke. I mean, Rival 4 is always really easy, so saying that now really doesn't mean all that much, but I think we can all agree, up to this point, it's been fairly impressive. So much so, I decided to go battle Erica now, even though I could wait. I'm gonna go for Dig, Razor Leaf misses, and then it misses with Sleep Powder. Kinda lucky. We knock it out with Body Slam. Tangle is pretty bad. Don't forget, in this game, I don't believe Rock Slide flinches, so it's just a base 75 power move. And then we get really good luck against Vileplume. We got 2 Sleep Powder misses, so that really helped us in this battle. Probably, if I were to do this run again, I would wait just because it would be easier to one-shot, far more consistent. Also, fun fact, it is quicker just to fly back to Celadon than walk. I mean, you could say I'm lazy, but I'm trying to go fast. All right, well, we're going to skip ahead, and we are going to go battle Koga. I don't actually think I've lost a battle yet, interestingly enough. At least not a major battle. Against Coughing, we just go for Dig and knock it out. Against Muck, we go for Dig. We don't knock it out. It goes for Minimize. I go for Body Slam. That combo is not a thing. I don't think that was ever a thing, by the way. It's Stomp. Anyway, Dig one-shots Coughing, and then Wheezing thankfully does not go for Self-Destruct. And not only do I beat Koga, I don't even get any damage against me, although that's just because of the random way Koga's AI works. Or all the AI. Gen 1 AI is so weird. At this point, there's only one thing we can do, which is battle Rival 5, and this tends to be a big obstacle. We're fairly low level, and we do have good moves, but I have a feeling at this point, the type advantages for some of the Pokemon are going to be too much for my very slow Machoke to overcome. Let's see if I'm right. So Fievel leads with his trusty Pidgeot. I don't outspeed it. Wing Attack doesn't do all that much, but it's going to be a 2-shot. I'm at 72 HP. I do level up though, which is nice. Against Execute, I go for Body Slam. It goes for Reflect. It has to go for Reflect because of the weird Gen 1 AI. So we're able to knock it out. Unfortunately, we then miss with Rock Slide. And as I predicted, sadly, not even a Pokemon we had a bad matchup against knocks us out. So that's one loss. Let's try again. Pidgeot, I think it can go for Agility here. It goes Wing Attack, Wing Attack. Maybe it doesn't have Agility yet. This time we're only at 70 HP. Remember, Execute can't do anything but use Reflect because it's a Psychic move. And then we miss again. Literally a carbon copy of the last well, not actually literally, but pretty much a carbon copy. We're going to try this one more time. I'd like to see how much damage I do to Gyarados. And this time we actually get a crit against us from Pidgeot. So that's not very good, but it will still answer the question, how much damage do I do to Gyarados? 1 second. Oh, there's a nice crit for me. And the answer is, well, actually, Gyarados gets us to 2 HP. If we outspeed, which we will not, we would win. So we lose a bunch of times to Rival 5. Sadly, at this point, unless I want to use my rare candies super early, The most optimal thing is just to battle random trainers, and that obviously is going to take Machoke out of any sort of top tier, but that's pretty unexpected for a mid-form. It just simply doesn't have the stats to sweep Rival Fivel, or the speed, like I said, at this low level. So I spent about 5 real-world minutes training, and I'm at level 42. So now at level 42 I outspeed. It actually goes for potion, so I'm undamaged to execute. Body Slam is going to be a 3-shot still, but that's not a problem. Now we're at level 43, and Rock Slide isn't enough to knock out Gyarados. Hydro Pump does half, and do we outspeed Alakazam? The answer is no. It has a pretty good chance to get crits, it gets one, and that's not good. I mean, I guess Gyarados could go for something other than Hydro Pump, but that was pretty average luck, and we lost. Now, let's see what happens here. I go for Rock Slide, Wing Attack. Okay, remember, we got undamaged. It's actually a speed tie. That's very unfortunate, so probably want to level up just a little bit more, sadly. And we're going to... Oh, nice crit there, but Alakazam probably is just going to go Confusion, another crit. Disappointing. Disappointing. Machoke is really struggling here. Sadly, after one more loss, I decided to train just a little bit more. Now I'm at level 44, and we're at 115 after knocking out Pidgeot. Execute, still going to be a 3-shot. Can't get around that. And now Gyarados, do we one-shot? No. But Hydro Pump misses. That's pretty good. Alakazam, I'm going to go for Earthquake. Psybeam nearly knocks me out. And as long as I outspeed... Oh, I don't. Oh, wow. Oh, I thought we were going to win there. Oh, this is not good. I'm just too slow. Having a slow Pokemon bad against Alakazam is just so tough because they get so many crits and they have such good special. And you can see my special is also atrocious. Well, after leveling up just a little bit more, I was able to one-shot Pidgeot. Still, oh, actually this time it's going to be, still a 3-shot. Good ol' execute. And now Gyarados, are we going to one-shot it? Not quite, but it goes for Dragon Rage. That's fine. And then Alakazam this time goes for Confusion. I'm at 35 HP. But after we level up here, Ember isn't enough to knock me out. So we're not outspeeding anything, but we were able to tank enough attacks. I did get a little lucky that Gyarados didn't go for Hydro Pump. Although the truth is, I don't know how lucky I got because I think the percentage chance it goes for it is 1 in 4. And then it has a 20% chance to miss. So it's not so crazy, but I will still say we needed luck in order to win, which isn't good. Machoke is already at level 47, and that is going to help it get through this next part of the game a little bit quicker than it would otherwise. But we're really seeing the limitation on a Pokemon that is not just slow, but does not have a badge boosting move to make up for that speed. Other slow Pokemon have moves like Harden, or Agility, or Swords Dance, and those moves allow... by the way, I'm battling Giovanni too already. I've just knocked out Rhyhorn. That's for the editor. Something a lot of you don't really know is the process I go through making these videos. I've always wanted to, maybe on my second channel, take you through the process. Also, why am I getting the Master Ball? That's just a waste of time. What am I catching with that? Okay, that was weird. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I used to edit all these videos by myself. All the early J-Rose videos were editing, and just brutal to do, man. So I really give my editors a lot of credit. I do give them some timestamps and stuff, but it is hard to keep up with the way I talk. Oh, I'm catching Diglett now? Well, that's an interesting... And I'm using the Master Ball. Wait, oh, I have to get one at the right level because it doesn't have Dig. Oh, that's so funny. I can't believe I'm doing that. Also, it's taken way too long. I think level 9... No? Oh, God. Yeah, see, I'm saving. I have to save and reset for a Diglett so I don't waste too much time. Oh, my God. I think level 19, by the way, has Dig. I think I messed up. I thought it was 20, but it's 19. That's so dumb. That's a little bit of time loss on my part, but it's probably not going to make too big a difference. All right, we're going to go get strength, and then we're going to head across the sea and go and battle Blaine. All right, so Blaine should be pretty easy. Growlithe actually would just use agility. I only have 4 Earthquakes left because I battled all the trainers here. I am not anticipating an easy Sabrina. Oh, look at that. It tanked it. That sucks, but I can just go... Okay. That really sucked. Burnt. But thankfully this is Gen 1. They don't have like hyper potions, but yeah, yikes. Anywho, look at that. We saved time. And by the way, I did end up resetting and actually caught a level 29 Doug Trio. Fun little fact there. You might be like, whoa, where'd you get a Doug Trio from? I reset because it was too slow and I just happened to get one, which is pretty cool. In a lot of my challenge runs where I can't gain experience or have to use wild Pokemon, level 29 Doug Trio is just so good. But yeah, now is where we have to go and battle Sabrina. And in some runs, Agatha's the big scary one, but this time it's Sabrina. I can't see how this is going to go well without rare candies, but let's see. Kadabra leads. Do we outspeed? Ooh, we do. Nice. Now, we outspeed Mr. Mime. Nice twice. And we outspeed Venomoth. That I'm not surprised about, but we're not going to outspeed Alakazam. Ooh, Psywave. Yay! That was really easy. Okay, well, Alakazam doesn't have Psychic because the way it works, and I have a video coming out that's going to explain this a little bit more detail. The third move of the move slot. So trainers in Red, Blue, and Yellow, other than very few exceptions like the Elite Four, their moves, at least in Red and Blue, and Yellow this is a little different, but in Red and Blue, it's just the last 4 moves they learn via level up. That's it. For the Ace Pokemon, their third move is replaced with the TM move they give. So Brock gets Spied, Misty gets Bubble Beam, etc. But unfortunately, the third move Alakazam gets is Psychic, so yeah. And we're not going to teach, by the way, Submission over Low Kick. The 80 accuracy combined with recoil, just not worth it. And you'll notice that we're barely using Low Kick anymore. Just using Earthquake and Body Slam. That kind of is an unfortunate, I'd like to say Gen 1-ism, where Pokemon types and moves are just not balanced yet. Gen 2 would be interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to go Earthquake. Oh, it doesn't knock out Rhyhorn. That's annoying. Just Low Kick to knock it out. Doug Trio, Sand Attack. Oh, that sucks. And I'm just going to reset. I know that counts as a loss technically, but that's just irritating. All right, so now we know we won't one-shot. Fury Attack, that's also irritating. Low Kick misses, that's really irritating. Low Kick misses again, that's extremely irritating. And Growl, oh my god, what is going on here? I think we can still win easily. Earthquake will now just 2-shot everything, except for Rhydon, it might be a 3-shot. Oh gosh, well, the movesets suck, so I'm not really worried about damage. Yeah, it's going to be a 3-shot, and Fissure can't even hurt me, because as slow as I am, Rhydon is even slower. So, an annoying victory, but a victory nonetheless, and we've made it to the final 6 battles. Well, that's if I win. It's probably going to be a lot more than 6, but you get what I mean. Rival 6, who is a tougher version of Rival 5-0, the Champ, which is a tougher version of that, and before that, the Elite 4. Let us see how our good pal Rival 6 will be. Alright, he leads with Pidgeot, Rock Slide, Agility is perfect, and I go for Body Slam. Nice. Now I go for Earthquake. Nice, it's a 1-shot. Execute, I think it's gonna have to go, oh, went for Leech Seed, doesn't have Reflect anymore. That's annoying. And now Rock Slide, Leech Seed, Dragon Rage. All in all, not too bad. We level up, and yeah. Yep, that's kinda how I thought that would go. I will try one more time, maybe a lot more times, but I'm thinking the rare candies. Oh, wow. That's not a Gen 1 miss, that's just a genuine miss, because all my moves, other than Earthquake and Body Slam, so 2 of my moves, 50% of them can miss. Rock Slide, Agility... Agility, nice. It can go for Wing Attack, by the way, it's 50-50. Earthquake knocks it out, beautiful, and please just don't use... Okay, well, Leech Seed missed, nice. All right, Rock Slide and Leer. Oh my gosh, that'll give me a little bit of... Oh, wait, actually, I just leveled up. It'll give me nothing. Psybeam. I mean, if it crits, there's nothing I can do, but like... All right, I'm 6,000 away from level up. I think we should go to the Fighting Dojo, gain the 6,000 EXP, and then use the rare candy. So I'm going to just skip that, and we'll pick it back up at Rival 6. All right, so now I'm at level 54. Wait, did I use the rare candies? I think I forgot to use them. Great. I actually forgot to use them, so that's irritating. I'm probably just going to lose because what is one level going to really do here? This time, Execute decides to go for Solar Beam, which is fine. And are we going to one-shot? I can't see how we would. Dragon Rage. All right, well, if it doesn't crit, maybe this could be interesting. And, well, it does. Because, of course, it does. Because I think it's like a 1 in 3 or 1 in 4. No, it's like a 1 in 3 chance to crit. All right, well, again, I forgot to use... Can you just use the rare candies? Just, why are you being so stubborn? Stop being so stubborn, me. Oh, there's a Gen 1 miss. All right, am I going to finally... Come on, no! No, past J-Rose. No, this isn't going to work. I promise you, it isn't going to work. Just use the rare candies. It will work. I'm yelling at me. I'm literally yelling at me. Oh, God, and now you use Rock Slide on Execute? What are you doing, man? All right. Okay, that was a nice crit, but now what happens? Psybeam. Okay. See? Rare candies. Okay, clearly past J-Rose is going to figure out... No, past J-Rose! What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, God. Well, see, that's what you get. Yeah, see, that's what you get for not listening to your future self. No! Future you knows, past J-Rose. Future you knows. Oh, okay, that was a nice crit. And now, Earthquake. Great. Execute. We have... All right, just go for Body Slam. Stun Spore. Yep, I knew that was coming eventually. All right, so now I'm paralyzed. Dragon Rage, Rock Slide, Hydro Pump. You didn't even make it to Alakazam. All right, come on, past J-Rose. You're not that stubborn. No, past J-Rose. What are you doing? Why? Why, past J-Rose? Why are you making me watch through all of this? I can't skip this because I can't turn away. I am in shock that past J-Rose has not used the rare candies yet. I am literally stunned. I don't know what to say. I am stunned. By the way, we're at Gyarados right now. And I've made it to Alakazam. And, oh, Reflect. Wait. And no crit. We still get knocked out. All right, past J-Rose. All right. Well, I was talking to Chad about something, but past J-Rose finally used the rare candies. Gotta love past J-Rose. You know what? It takes him a while because he's in the past. He doesn't have retrospect. And now with the rare candies, we will easily win, right? Psybeam, Earthquake, one shot. Yeah, really, actually, this was pretty easy, even with Leech Seed. I'm not sure why past J-Rose would do the Fighting Dojo to level up and then skip the rare candies, because that's the whole reason you do that. But whatever. You know what? In the end, I'm sure I was having a very riveting conversation with my chat, and I was just buying time. I don't think that was happening. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But current J-Rose is now thinking about the Elite Four. Honestly, we have a good matchup against Lorelie. We have a decent matchup against Bruno, but Bruno sucks. We actually have Earthquake for Agatha. Lance, only 2 of his Pokemon are capable of damaging me. And we just beat, I would say, a slightly easier version of the champion. Although the champion's Alakazam being second is actually kind of nice, because we'll know pretty quickly whether we won or lost. All right, let's start with Lorelie. So we have either Low Kick or Rock Slide. Of course, I missed with Rock Slide. But Dugong has to go for Rest, which is irritating, but not the end of the world. Cloyster, I go for Low Kick. It goes for Clamp, which is the most annoying move, but we knock it out very quickly. Slowbro has to go for Amnesia, and I'm just saving power points here. Probably would have been a 3-shot even with Earthquake. For Jinx, I go for Rock Slide, and we outspeed, which is nice. And then Lapras, I go for Rock Slide. Body Slam doesn't paralyze, and then Low Kick. I'm a little hesitant to use Low Kick because, well, it's lower base power, and it... Well, I guess they both have a chance to miss. It's just... I actually does the exact same, by the way. So, not a big deal. Against Bruno, we're just going to do 1 Earthquake. Remember the count? Oh, you guys used to miss that. Anyway, we actually might... No, we're not going to 5-shot. Oh, we don't even 1-shot the Onix? Wow. And we miss with a Low Kick. See, I was talking about Low Kick. We're at level 66 now, and yeah, I figured this would be a 2-shot, but okay, only what, like 9 moves? And I'm going to have to heal here, use an elixir. I have 3 of them. Very, very good elixir. Ugh, I have a Carbos I wasted just because I gained too many stat experience. Anyway, hopefully this goes well. Gengar is going to get to move first, and Hypnosis. Nope. Withdraw to Golbat. That's okay. Haze, very good. Very, very good. Wing Attack's fine. Rock Slide, and no level up. That's okay. Dream Eater, Earthquake. We knock it out. No level up. Nightshade, Earthquake. The level up's important for a reason we'll talk about in a second. I outspeed, though, and knock out Arbok, and this can't put me to sleep. Didn't need the level up. I mentioned this in the Gloom video, but Haze does decrease all of my stats by 12.5%. Level up would have counteracted that, but we're going to make it to the champion really quickly. That's not bad. Unless something crazy happens here, the only Pokemon we need to worry about are Gyarados and Aerodactyl, and we have Rock Slide. So we're going to 2-Shot, and Hyper Beam did a lot, but that's fine. There's the level up. And then we can go Earthquake. All Dratini can do is go for Agility. Nice crit there, speeds things up. And then Agility, and we're just going to go for Low Kick. And now just have to go for Rock Slide, and Bite's fine. Rock Slide, yep, GG. So we have made it to the champion because all Dragonite can do is spam Barrier and Agility. Actually, if it combines those 2 moves, it can be really tedious and I have to rely on a critical hit. Thankfully, it didn't. And all I got to do is use the full restore. I actually have 1 additional rare candy, and I'm going to use it now. I don't really need it for badge boosting, but level 68, champion battle. Let's do it. All right, Pidgeot. We're going to go for Rock Slide. Nice animation. Critical hit. Beautiful. Alakazam. Let's hope we get Reflect is fine. Earthquake. Okay, great. Psybeam, no crit, no crit, no crit, no crit. I think you can tell by my facial expression, I was not amused by that critical hit. Now, I know you're expecting me to say that I made it right back to the champion, but that would actually be an untrue lie, because I would lose to Lapras. It got a Blizzard critical hit. Go figure. But I'm sure you're thinking, well, that was fluky. You made it the next time. No, I didn't. Because remember I said there were 2 Pokemon that could hurt me? Well, if you miss with 2 Rock Slides, yeah, it turns out Gyarados actually can knock you out. That's a 1%, by the way. But now I'm sure you're thinking, well, with that bad luck out of the way, everything's going to go great. But that's a common fallacy. In fact, luck doesn't work like that. And against Agatha, we get put to sleep. Nightshade, Confuse Ray, Dream Eater. Yay! But alright, now you make it back to the champion. No! The Gyarados gets a critical hit Hyper Beam off. And I'm not going to lose to it. I do get a Generation 1 miss. But if we speed up a bit, I lose to a critical hit Takedown. So at this point, you've caught on and you realize I'm not making it back to the champion so quick, but you'd be wrong, I do. You're really not good at predicting, are you? Anyway, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to go Rock Slide against Pidgeot. Wing Attack is fine-ish, rather with Sky Attack, but that's fine. Reflect is great. Body Slam to Paralyze. Ooh, doesn't work. Ooh, Psybeam. Hey, we tank it, and Earthquake's enough to knock it out. Great, great. Rhydon. I'm going to go Earthquake. Horn Drill has no effect because I'm faster, and we knock it out. Executor. Oh, this could be a problem. Body Slam, Hypnosis misses. Body Slam, it's paralyzed. Nice, nice. All right, we just need like a crit or something. Come on. Well. Yeah, that time I wanted good luck. But if I'd gotten past that Gyarados somehow, we would have won. But this does seem like a battle that right now I actually probably can't win. Like, if we think about it, statistically, Alakazam is going to attack us once. And even if we don't get the crit, which odds are we shouldn't, but we always seem to, we wouldn't have enough HP unless Gyarados gets a really lucky miss. So, sadly, I think it's back to leveling up. And how far do you think I got after I leveled up? Take your guesses. If you guessed the champion, you'd be right. Yeah, you'd be right. I don't know why I did it like that. Yeah, you're right. And now I should one-shot Pidgeot with Rock Slide. Ooh, I don't. But as long as we don't get a Gen 1 miss, that's perfect. Now, Psychic. All right. No crit. And we do get a crit. But I fear this is the same problem we just had. Ooh, tail whip boosts my attack. No, no, I missed with low kick. Why go for low kick? That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Oh, we paralyzed. It has to go for hypnosis. It's a 2-shot. Wait, this could be it. This could be it. This could be it. No, it's Lear. This could be it. As long as I think this is it. No, we missed. That was a 10%. No, that was it. That was it. It was a 10%. Ah, well, that sucks. I decided, despite how close that was, that there was a bit of luck that I got. So I want to level up just a little bit more, and I do make it back to the champion. So things are starting to get a bit more consistent. This time I one-shot Pidgeot. I get Psybeam, Body Slam. It does one-shot, which is fine. And now Earthquake. I get Horn Drill. So no badge boost. That's kind of the key thing. I got really lucky badge boosts. And I get put to sleep. I was worried about this, but it's paralyzed. It's paralyzed still, but it's going to start going for Barrage. So it has to go for Hypnosis, but once I'm asleep, it actually will start using its moves because it won't double status you. Anyway, I go for Rock Slide, Gyarados goes for Leer, and I think we have this. Just don't miss. All right, we got this. Nice. Well, in theory, we could have had this before, but I do think level 73 is probably a more realistic level for Machoke. So while I'm disappointed we didn't get it at level 70, obviously it's theoretically possible. It's also theoretically possible to get it at level 50 if I try enough times. Anywho, took 5 hours and 6 minutes. Machoke was so good in the early game, but really struggled once we got to Rival Final, which is funny. We hadn't lost a single battle up to that point, but starting there, things really started to unravel, especially then at the end game, things really unraveled. So Machoke, sadly, is actually going to find itself in the tier below Gloom, if you can believe it. Who'd have thunk that Machoke would be worse than Gloom? Kind of funny, Gloom started out so badly but did okay by the end, and Machoke started so great but really struggled at the end. Tale of two runs. And there's just 43 left in Generation 1. That's exciting. Also kind of scary. But anyway, once again, a big thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in checking them out, remember it's rocketmoney.com/Jaros11. With Legends EA on the horizon, I have a lot more videos planned for the next few weeks, so I'll see you guys really soon. Take care.